Hello everyone. Welcome back. I am going to keep it pretty raw with you guys today. As you can see, this is a vlog channel. I plan on vlogging the current happenings in my life and things I've learned. One thing that has been a huge influence in my life this past few years. Sorry if I cry. One thing that I never thought I would see is a love, a loss, a love, a loss, and over again. This isn't a breakup story. This is a vlog on like mental health, abuse, and forms of abuse, and what that looks like. I'm very emotional about it. Obviously, I'm 37 weeks pregnant. If I keep staying so I apologize. But what I want to tell people out there is that if you're being abused mentally, emotionally, physically, it is extremely hard for other people to relate to you. You are the outlier. You're not uncommon, but you are the outlier. People don't know how to help you. They don't know how to relate to you. So you feel isolated even more. One thing that I can tell you is over the last couple of years, I've noticed a toxicity within myself and within my relationships. And it has been so sad to even think about. It's something I've never wanted in my life. And I didn't realize until about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, from my therapist I just started seeing, is that, Amber, do you hear yourself? And I'm like, what do you mean? And she goes, you've never made like any comments regarding the other people that are causing this havoc in your life. You keep putting it on yourself as if you did this, and none of these actions are your actions. Like, what are you doing for yourself? And I go, what do you mean? And she goes, it sounds like you've lost yourself entirely. And I go, what? Like, no, like I'm doing things I love to do. And then she goes like, what? And I'm like, like creative things, I don't know. I just started a YouTube channel. And she's like, no, like, what are you doing for you and your baby that's coming due? What are you doing? I'm dripping. What are you doing for your mental state? What are you doing for you and the baby's future? It sounds like everything else revolves around other people and how they treat you. And I had to stop and think about that. I'm like, I did lose myself because I was so sick of being hurt by other people. I just thought, how can I make other people happy? Right? Like, I can't be the only one. How can I make other people happy so that way I'm happier? That's not how the world goes. Like, people don't think that way usually. That's when you care too much about people. And even if the things in your life are toxic and you shouldn't have those things in your life, you want to hold on to those because it's the only things you have left. And coming from experiences, the last 4 relationships I've ever had, so it stems back in my 20s, over the last like basically decade, 10 years, or longer. Actually, it was longer than that. Holy buckets. I felt like I was just losing control of like who I was, the things I loved. And so I did a bodybuilding competition just to carve out some months of time that were spent bettering myself. Even during that process, I was started going through a breakup in the beginning. He moved out. 6 months later, started seeing somebody else, and it was good. 6 months into that, found out he was already talking to somebody else. And I thought, like, we went from talking about marriage and everything else to extremely toxic. I did go back to the previous relationship, and because I loved him, truly loved him for who he was and everything, he just needed help. He had major narcissistic traits, controlling traits. And when I say like narcissistic traits, it's very, very hard for people with narcissism to want to seek help, which he did a little bit after our first breakup. And it is very hard for them to see that they're doing anything wrong because they won't admit it. It is also very hard for them to get help for PTSD. A lot of them are chronic cheaters. They need to be, felt superior than others, and they have zero empathy for other people. And that can, a mix of PTSD are like very toxic. Basically, you're to blame all the time, and they don't take any self-awareness as to like what they're doing and how it's affecting anyone else until it's too late. He did realize that at one point, that he was a problem, and that's why he got help, and he felt horrible. And now he looks back at it and he still blames me. I mean, even after going to therapy with him, he didn't want to talk about the past because it was too traumatic for him. And then he blames me for seeing the therapist and talking about it and etc. And that's why I'm coming on here, is because even though I love him and we're about to have, a baby together, something he's always wanted, he decided to move closer to his work, so it's 35 minutes away from me, and I could have this baby any day. And I'm isolated by myself. Another form of control. Meanwhile, he's living it up, living his life, and he still blames me because I'm pushing him further away, even though he's choosing not to work on things, not to be self-aware. He hasn't even really helped with anything with the baby besides put the bassinet together at my place. He has nothing at his place yet, and she's due any day now. He just moved this past week, like yesterday. No reason why he had to move. He got a new job. He could still work there even until after baby's born, but he chooses not to. Sorry, my nose is dripping. I'm not gonna hide anything on camera. And yeah, it's just been a back and forth this whole time, basically. Rewinding back to before I got pregnant, we were on a good page. We were, doing things right. And then I found out I was pregnant, and then it became a emotional hormonal mess. And it wasn't even like extreme. That's why I kind of figured I was having a girl, which I am, because your hormones are just on the same wavelength. And if you have a boy, apparently you're just more up and down all around. That's just what I was told. I don't know. But that's why I figured I was having a girl. He wanted so bad for it to be another boy. A few things that he said that really took me by surprise, which I never thought I would ever hear come from him. because he even had girl names picked out. All he said he wanted a girl because he already had a boy. He told me he liked the name Chloe. He picked out another name, which I'm not going to say because I don't know if that'll be like the baby's name, but he was all excited back in June, July about wanting to have, a little girl. He was going to move in. And then he even told our, landlords that we shared that he was going to move in with me. And then I was like, I don't know if that's a good idea until we like figure things out, like with our relationship, mentally, emotionally. I wanted us to go back to therapy to, make sure that we were good before he moved back in. And he refused. He's like, no. And then he blamed me for, our last issue of going to therapy. And the whole reason why we went to therapy together was so that way we can get over the issues, because he had cheated on me previously and left me to pursue those two people, which I was highly, highly, highly traumatized about. I saw 2 therapists about that, and he refused to go back to therapy. I don't know why he's like so scared to go back to therapy. I'm really hoping and praying that he will one day for his own mental stability, because I don't think he can have like a solid relationship long term without it ruining his relationships in the future. He's 32. He acts like he's like 16, 17. I don't know why, but we're on the same page in knowing that him and I don't want to hurt each other. But we say that anyway. Mine comes from the heart. His, I don't think really does. I think mentally he thinks that he doesn't want to hurt me, but he's not self-aware of his actions to know that he is hurting me. And then his narcissistic behavior flips back on me. He's like, well, goes on a defensive mode and like, well, you're the one that wanted this. You're pushing me further away. And I'm like, I'm not the one that moved. I'm not the one that's putting me down. You're putting me down. You're pushing me away. You're telling me this. Yeah, I'm pushing you further away. And then he says that I'm too controlling and all this other stuff. And I'm like, isn't that a form of control when they're telling you that because they want you to feel a certain way and you feel another way? Yes, that is a form of control. And what he's doing is a form of control. I'm crying because it hurts my heart to even talk about it. And I want to give like updates on this and show people that like they can get the mental help and get the resources and figure things out. What I'm doing with baby is I'm gonna be like basically a single mom. I have no family or friends around here. I'm isolated. I'm in a very, very small town that doesn't even have a gas station. My closest friends and family are 2.5 hours away. What he basically told me was, when baby comes, I will have her most of the time. He doesn't want to go to a counselor. He doesn't want to go to a therapist. He doesn't want to go to anybody. Like, we can figure it out on our own. He's already went through this with, a previous marriage he had. He thinks that we can do it on our own. And I said, I don't think so, because I've tried and I don't want to be stuck, isolated even more. And that's what he wants. And left alone with the baby all the time. And then he told me that I need to find a different job, even though I've been with this job for over a year now, and their their maternity leave is like amazing, getting 18 weeks. And he told me I needed to find a new job because it won't work with his job. So his idea of seeing his daughter is coming to pick her up at, after work. So he wouldn't be here until 5, and then turn back around, go to our businesses that we own together, not even spend any quality time with her, take her to the gym, and then bring her right back because he's got to work at 7 o'clock in the morning. So that's not how it works, Colton. If you're going to take her, you're going to take her for 8 hours. You're going to take her overnight. So you're going to have to figure out, how you want to do that because you chose to move further away. So you need to figure out when you want to see your daughter. And it's not going to be just on weekends because you live less than a half hour away. So that's not how it's going to go. I still love him with all my heart. And I know there's a better person in there. I know that. We've both made mistakes. And I'm not just saying that like I love him because of the abuse or because I'm not self-aware when it comes to that. I love him as a person because I've seen him without these factors. I've seen him self-aware. I know he's capable of it. I know he can do it. It's just, it hurts my heart seeing his downward mental spiral and he can't see it. And then I shouldn't be hurting as much as I do. And I know if he saw that, how bad he hurt me or is hurting me, he wouldn't want to do that. That being said, there are other girls out there that may or may not watch this video. And if they do, I want to say you people are the reason why society is so fucked up. Because there are girls out there that are intentional homewreckers that get off on making things worse between someone and a relationship or things that they're going through, and know that they're in a relationship and they don't care. They'd rather choose to fuck up your relationship. And 9 times out of 10, they're not happy with themselves. They have highly, highly insecure personalities. The relationship between them and the other person won't last very long at all because they have issues that they need to work through. And they're aware of it, but they're not fully self-aware of it. Maybe they are. Some are. But there are people that are constant homewreckers and cheaters. And then people like him will fall into the trap and say that, oh, I'll have it better here, when really they don't. I just want to say to you people, you know who you are. And you are a very ugly personality. Like, those kind of people that get off and find solace on like rooting other relationships or want to pursue somebody even though they're in a relationship or going through a breakup, you need to give space. Like, you need to get yourself some therapy too. Like, I'm sorry, but if you ever want to be happy, you've got to give other people space. You've got to figure your own shit out because, girl, boy, I don't care who you are, you're never going to make anybody happy. It doesn't matter if you're good looking or not. You're never going to make anybody happy if that's how you go into a relationship. If you're trying to start a relationship with somebody and you're intentionally trying to home wreck it or cause more issues that aren't necessary, trying to flirt with someone, let's say you're flirting with my baby daddy and you are trying to pursue something with him, relationship or not, but yet you don't make it clear that you don't really want a relationship. And then so he leaves to try to pursue you, and you don't want a relationship with him. So he's fucked up his entire life. You are what's wrong with society. You are. Like, making that clear. You're the reason why it's so hard for other people to have solid, healthy relationships, because you don't make what you want clear from the get-go, or you get off on fucking up everybody else's relationships or screwing up everybody else's relationships. I need those people out there to realize that are of stable mind that they're not what's wrong with society. You choose your own actions. You choose your own happiness. Some people even want to befriend that other significant other. There are girls out there, I can name a few that will end up watching this, that get off on fucking up everybody else's relationships. They get enjoyment out of it. There are girls out there that will befriend the girl so that way they can get closer to the guy. Yeah. That's a little messed up in the head. And then that's how they end up building the girl's trust. So they'll think, oh, it wasn't me. I didn't cheat. I didn't help him cheat. When they're the ones that wanted to fuck him were cheat. So, yeah. I don't know how many of y'all can relate to this, but I just wanted to basically vlog what my current happenings are going on. This one's a little lengthy because obviously it's a lot going on, and that's what's been going on this past year to 2 years. I am seeking therapy. It is helpful, but again, when you're isolated and you have zero support from baby daddy or from, especially when those outside sources are trying to influence everything with a newborn, you are some kind of messed up in the head. It makes that other person harder to get mental health. It makes life even more difficult for the other person in the relationship. Really, you're doing no good for society. And I want to tell you, you can do better. You can. I want to stick with like a vlog update on how this goes. Once baby girl is here, it'll be a lot different. Emotionally, mentally, physically. But I want to stay updated and then kind of keep you guys informed as to like what's going on and what my plan is. This is kind of like a venting session, just trying to get all that out there, trying to tell people what's been happening in my life the last couple years. By no means, I want to make this clear, by no means do I have hate for any of my exes. Like, it is what it is. Like, you chose your actions, it's fine. The situation with my baby daddy is going to be always different because I'm going to always have a love for him in a way that, is different. Obviously, making a child with somebody is different than just being in a relationship. You're connected forever. And I'll update you guys, whether you want it monthly, weekly, whatever, just leave it in the comments. And I'll let you guys know what I'm doing to better my health, mentally, physically, spiritually, and business-wise, because we own a business together. Oh yeah, drop the bomb. And tell you guys how it goes. Yeah. I just hope you guys have stuck around for this length of time. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Any disrespectful comments towards myself will be blocked. I just want you to know. So that doesn't mean go on here and diss my exes by any means. But if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out in the comments. And yeah, I hope to update you guys on something more positive next time. But this is what it is for now. So I hope you guys find help in reaching out to a therapist, reaching out to your county crime to victim crisis center, even your hospital, your OBGYN. They can get you more help and support if that's what you are seeking or needing. A lot of insurance doesn't cover therapy, but there are free resources out there that I wasn't even aware of, you know, living in a new state. It's not easy to find those resources because I don't want to hurt or, you know, be hurt. I want to be happy. You know, we only live one life. So, you know, once you realize like you're in control of you, you can change those little things and reach out to somebody and have them help you figure that out. You're not alone. So I want you to know that. Even if you feel like you are alone, reach out to me on here. And I will be your biggest cheerleader. Trust me. I know how it feels. And I want you to know that you're not alone. So, all right, guys. Leave me your comments. Leave me your questions. Don't email me because I think the email is all messed up on here. I'm not quite sure. I will put my food channel down as well, so you guys can go and follow that for budget-friendly meals, and as well as my Instagram if you want to DM me. Okay, bye.